screens. Let me fight with my cord a little bit here because for some reason it wants to do what it wants to do. I told y'all from day one that anyone associated, not anyone, but certain individuals associated with Jamie Fernando Gonzalez are potential criminals. We told you this from the door. And we've been in the business for a very long time. We've been developing screen paints. I got a chance to work on a lot of cool projects with other people to do this and do that and do all these things, I've been blessed to be able to do. And down through time, I've seen this guy do absolutely nothing with the opportunities he's had, but just be full of hatred. That's just definitely full of hatred. And this is going to catch up to him. Monday morning, we're going to make those calls. Make those calls, put those calls in to have the proper authorities to come in and get this thing wrapped up. Because I myself been dragging my feet on this because I've been so busy. I've been working on this, working on that. Got to be here, got to be there. Got to update dates for this. Got to design that here and there. And it's just been extremely busy for me. And I just didn't have the time to go in and address these issues. Even though these issues, again, are just people being idiots. So now I'm going to have to address these issues. I'm really going to have to press down on this. Get this, go in there to these offices, sit down, talk to these people, bring the paperwork in there, and assign these lawyers to go in and get this job done. Because again, these individuals now are showing signs that not only are they a danger to other people, but they could possibly be a danger to themselves. They're showing off psychotic behavior. And Mr. Williams is definitely showing off high signs of unstable psychotic behavior. Because again, in the apartment complex that he's in, and the fact that he's showing pictures of himself half naked and sending them to an office building, not someone's address, he's sending them to an office building. And the fact that he has it in an open postcard, just explain it so he don't care who sees it at all, period. This is the reason why we don't show our address. Because I told you from the door that Jamie has serious stalking issues. He's stalked us from multiple areas we've been at. He's been stalking us from companies we work at. He's been sending them all kinds of weird emails, stuff like that. He was stalking a fellow over where we had a fellow come down from New Jersey who checked out our screens and loved them. I went back home. We're in the process of signing the contract. I'm over in Home Depot picking out patio furniture, and I get a phone call from him telling me, hey, look, man, no concern at all, but I got this crazy guy who just contacted me and said that your product was a scam. You idiot. They just came from my building. They literally just came from my building. How dumb this guy is. We have over in the carrying place, there are people walking all over the facility looking at the screen. This guy contacts him and says we're a scam. How would that be possible if they're right there staring at the screen? That's like you contacting somebody and saying, hey, the car he's selling you is yellow. He sells yellow cars only. And you're in the dealership looking at red cars. Like, no, you idiot. There's red cars. I see red cars right there. So you're going to convince me that I'm not seeing something that I'm looking right at in front of, right in real time. See, there you go. This is why Monday morning, I'm not dragging my feet on this nonsense. I'm not making any more excuses. I'm going to walk myself over to the FBI building. I'm going to go walk in. I'm going to basically make an appointment, set it up. I'm going to take the Homeland, we had to take with the immigration, with ICE for Fernando Gonzalez. I'm going to walk in there and I'm going to basically issue your documents to them and tell them the problems that we're having with you, including with the initial problems we've already had with you in the past. You already have a file already on there with them. And I'm going to get that mess taken care of. Because at least at the end of the day, he'll be at a holding facility waiting for court. And that's where you're going to be at, for court. Because you're not going back home, buddy boy. You're going to stay here in the States with us until you finish whatever criminal charges they're in those documents. You'll have to face every single one of them. And it's a lot. He's going to be here for a while. I'm not wasting more time with this. The reason why we had the problem with Williams, because you contacted Williams and you told Williams a bunch of lies. Williams is going to testify in court. It's going to happen. He's going to testify that how he knew us is from you. You contacted Williams, told him a whole bunch of lies. There we go. So Williams is going to testify in court because they're going to ask, how do you know Mr. Bird? We don't know Williams. We don't know anything about him at all, period. Williams mentioned Crow multiple times in emails. They know each other. So Crow went and told him that we were scammers and we're rip-off artists and we're robbing people. So that, Mr. Fernando, you went out and deliberately told this guy something that wasn't true, and in his psychotic nonsense in his brain, because he wasn't right to begin with, believed that nonsense. So guess what that means? You're getting the exact same charges he's getting because you initiated that nonsense. So that means at this particular point, you are now considered to be a serious threat, which means I will be contacting the FBI. I'll be contacting ICE again to explain exactly the situation. I will go to every police district we have down here now in town, and I will drop that freaking control order in there to let them know that we have problems with you. I will also contact the police in California to let them know the issues we're having from you, so we can get somebody at that apartment to have you arrested as soon as possible. So we're taking care of that this week. No more dragging feet anymore. If you're going around telling people weird stuff like this, and potentially we can have somebody come up here and hurt somebody because you're jealous over paint, we need to have you in jail. So just let you know, I got people on it already to make sure that we can get some kind of unit on that property and have you arrested. Because you do know when he goes to court, they're going to ask him, how do you know me? And he's going to say, I know him from Fernando. And we can show multiple emails of rants in there of him mentioning your name multiple times. That's it. It's over. So what I mean by doing business with criminals, they are potential criminals. Jamie has ripped off hundreds of people in fake screen paint products. Oh, by the way, we can't get rid of the box. Can't get rid of it. They're going to use for evidence for court against him, showing that he did a mass fraud scheme ring on YouTube, and he ripped off a lot of people on a product that didn't even really technically didn't say exist the way he said exists. So it's mass, what do you call it, consumer fraud. So those individuals that are involved in that, you're part of that mess now. But anyway, yeah, so that's got to stay here for court. Other than that, Williams, as you can see, the psychotic behavior behind him is Williams has problems, very serious problems. That man openly took pictures of himself in his underwear and sent them to an office building. Williams, you didn't send it to a resident, you sent it to an office building, and the owner of these units saw those pictures at the end of the day. So again, you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble. I'm filing, myself personally, a lawsuit against your building. I'm also filing a lawsuit against any manager that was involved in taking care of the situation. We warned them multiple times that you had psychotic behavior, that you were not stable, and they continue to brush it off. So now I'm filing a lawsuit against each individual manager involved, and I will be filing massive lawsuits against the building itself. And if we find out anywhere along the line that's connected with the city, my attorneys will go as far as it needs to go. That, at the end of the day, you should not be in that building. If there are women and children, young men in that building walking around, he should not be in that building. Tell me any one of you would be comfortable living next to somebody with that kind of psychotic behavior and you got kids in the building. No, you would not. So he needs to be removed out of the building. And it's their fault at the end of the day because, again, they were warned he had problems and they did nothing about it. They ignored it. And I sat there, was the last thing I said to the manager. If you hear this, what's the last thing I said to you? I said, then you understand that you're responsible. And he said, yes. All right, then. What's about to hit you, you will understand that your full responsibility on what's about to hit you. Understand this. If your attorney contacts us about a plea deal, we don't take plea deals at this point. You'll be sued at maximum, which means this is going to be an extremely heavy and brutal lawsuit that will be slammed against you. On top of that, this will make your building look extremely bad because it means that you have the potential of bringing people into the building that could cause harm to other tenants, and you ignore these actions. And this means you will be under investigation because of this. We don't play around at the end of the day. We give you options out of this before we have to pull the trigger on what we're about to do. See, gentlemen, the difference between you and me is that I don't have time to be sending puppet people or stalking people's address announcements. No. We go to the courts. We go to lawyers. We go to officers. We go to law enforcement. We do it properly the way it's supposed to be done. And that nonsense at the end of the day clearly is a major red flag on why that individual should have never been in that building to begin with. Who knows what other psychotic behavior that he's basically doing in that apartment. Now, have you seen the apartment? Have you seen what it looks like in there? That explains a lot. There is trash, literally, on the floors, boxes, whatever. It's just complete color chaos in there. And usually people that have some form of what you call psychotic behaviors usually have nesting grounds that look similar to that. It's total, complete chaos. And it's not order. It's not organized. Unless you're a serial killer. But other than that, yeah. Other than that. But yeah, it's total chaos in there. Total chaos. He's not in his right mind. And this man's up on a top floor too on top of that, which means he could have a tendency to climb out one of those windows and jump. He's not stable. So he's a danger to be in that building. So that's why we have to contact local law enforcement and everything and get them down to that unit. He has to go for a psychiatric evaluation or something, so he might get a 302. But yeah, when you start sending people weird pictures like that, there's something really wrong, something not there. And this is the reason why, when I sat there and said, we do not give out our new address, there you go. Because of Weirdo Jamie. The minute I went into the garage, we got emails from Jamie stating, from his account, right up front, I know where you're at. Ha ha ha. Yeah, weirdo. Same person who took pictures of the building that I was in and even pointed where my cat sat in the window. Even took pictures of the inside of the unit and said, look, this is where he's at, so-and-so, come down and see him, so-and-so and so. So when you said that, Fernando, you put other people's lives at risk. You know, a bunch of kids play out there. There are kids that run up and down there. So say some psychopath took that seriously. Say he came down there with a gun and decided, I'm going to fire a couple rounds out the window and scare this guy. Say you struck one of those kids out there. Jamie, I'm going to tell you something today. You should be a father. You should know yourself. If someone hurts one of your kids, what are you going to do? You will literally, they will know, they know where you live at. You will literally have an angry person on your porch ready to snatch you through that door and beat the living crap out of you. You put someone's kids at risk. You put anyone at risk walking into that apartment, could have got shot, could have got killed, because you were jealous over screen paint. So these are the kind of people you sent your credit cards to, your debit card information to, your address to. These people at the end of the day that were certified criminals. Good luck with all that. Because right now you do know that the access to the PayPal account that he has in his possession has your personal information sitting right in it. So you better get something done at the end of the day. He's not stable. We know that from the door. He's not stable. We've seen some of the psychotic behavior emails we got from him. He's definitely not stable. And Mr. Williams is definitely not stable. Okay. Well, with that's what you did business with, criminals. And all while they were trying to make us look like we were the bad guys, and we were telling you the whole entire time, look, man, I've been in business longer than these people been around, and I got to back myself up and prove who I am, and I've been around over 14 years. Are you kidding me? And now everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon that now we have this new TV technology that can absorb light outside. You know, I ought to take this over to a big company and get millions of dollars for this and keep it out of your reach. I really should. Because in the day, it won't bother me one bit. I'll be rich. I'll be paid through the nose with a ton of money. And you won't have jack at the end of the day, because we beat every screen on the market. Where can you go to? We literally beat every screen on the market. Where can you go? Can't go anywhere. We beat every screen. That's the whole purpose of it all. The purpose of it all when we start developing this technology was to eliminate all the competition, so that way we can be the only screen standing, so we can get more money if we decide to sell out. That was the whole strategy from the door. That's why we did all that testing. That's why all that testing was done. It wasn't done for the simple fact of trying to prove we had a better screen. Everybody know it was trying to basically beat every single screen, so we can say we're the only ones who have it. Just in case if I decide I want to retire early, which I now have that ability now. So once the demonstrations go up of me walking all over Allentown showing up the screen, that's it. I can sell it to any company I want. Screen Innovation, anywhere will buy that technology. And that means if they get their hands on that technology, that screen shoots to the roof. It means only certain people can afford it. There is no way, you know the price they're going to charge for a screen that can absorb sunlight at 50 lumens? Are you kidding me? How much that thing's going to cost? You have any idea how much money the concept costs? That's an extremely expensive screen. It requires an 8,000 lumen projector to fire off. And our technology can do it at 50 outside. So you have any idea what they're going to charge you for that thing? It's going to be way beyond. But they're going to ship to companies only. That's what they're going to do. They're going to branch it to companies only because companies only is going to have that kind of money to do it. And the very, very, very rich are going to be to do it. I can easily go in that direction with no problem. And for naysayers saying, well, I don't care. Who cares about you at the end of the day? I'm going to be super rich. What are you going to be? You can sit there and go, oh, sell it up. Yeah, but at the end of the day, where are you going to be at? I'm going to be super rich. Where are you going to be at? You're going to be the same person you're going to be every single day. I'm going to wake up rich every single day. I have that option. So that doesn't bother me if you sit there and go, well, sell it to them, I don't care. You don't care anyway. You don't buy myself anyway. So what do I care about your opinion at the end of the day? Nobody cares about your opinion. I don't care about your opinion when you're talking about professional screen paint. Now, anything else, maybe people care about your opinion. But when it comes down to screen paints and what we do, we don't care. You don't do anything. You don't show anything. You don't put anything back. Nothing whatsoever. All you do is just cry about our technology. So we don't care what you say. But for the everyday Joe, that can't afford a screen, it's going to be $40,000 per square. Other people can. My rich friend who has that big condo, he can afford it with no problem. He's got money. Or a couple of other my rich friends, they can afford it. They got money too. So, just imagine, if you will, if Coca-Cola, the inventor, came out and decided that he was going to charge a ridiculous amount of money for one can of Coke. That means today, you know how much money that can of Coke would cost? It would be out of your reach. Just like Lamborghini. Lamborghinis are extremely expensive cars. A Lamborghini started off being a very expensive car. Only very certain select people can have that vehicle. Now today, that vehicle's $500,000. Only certain select people still can only have that vehicle because that car is marketed for a certain select type of people. If we decide this new technology we engineer is the first of its kind and we decide to put a price tag on it that will make us super rich at a faster rate, that means you can't touch it. Only certain select people can have it. That's the option I have right now sitting on my table. All those demonstrations we did out there in the sun, we got companies contacting us. What are we doing with this? Are we going to sell it? How much is it going to cost? Can they get access to it? Do you need any investors? I get all day long from that technology. I have to make a decision what I'm going to do. But meanwhile, we told you. We told these guys were criminals at the end of the day. And what did you guys do? You guys turned on my company, got nasty with my company, got rude with my company, tried to make me seem like I was the bad guy. I was the one doing all the wrong. I was doing this and doing that. And all the while, all we tried to do was try to make a technology that everybody can afford. Now, what would your attitude be after that? And you got people right now willing to pay you a lot of money for that technology. I can retire early. I can get my farm early. I can get my truck early. I can take my money and invest it in where I want to do at the end of the day. And just let the very rich have it at the end of the day. That means you guys, the middle ones, don't get jack. And it'll stay that way. It'll be that way forever because that's how companies do it. They only select for the perfect. They got a high-end technology, they're going to charge you a ton of money for it. And we try to do it differently. I'm going to pray on this and see where the Lord wants me to go with it. And he says, and the Lord always says, when you try to do something the right way, he always says, hey, dust off your sandals and move on. It's in the Bible. But people that are ungrateful at the end of the day, the Lord says, well, you know what? Just dust off and move on. Give it to someone else that will appreciate it. The rich will appreciate it. Okay, then. Well, that's basically about it. I got a lot of work to do. I got to be outside. I got a new game we're working on, and I got to be outside for testing at the end of the day. I got to make the decision today what I want to do. All right, got to go.